Assalamualaikum and greetings to all the viewers. We are from Group M5 with 4 members. We consist of me, Muhammad Zainizi, Maizatul Batrisha, Muhammad Afiq Daniel and Muhammad Nur Muizuddin. As for today, we will present the biology chapter 15.4, which is the development of a human fetus. In this topic, we will discuss 5 subtopics, which are the process of fertilization, early development of an embryo until implantation, role of human chorionic gonadotropin hormone, role of placenta and umbilical cord in fetal development, and lastly, the fetal and maternal blood circulatory system. So first, I will present the process of fertilization. During copulation, millions of sperm are ejaculated into the vagina, but only a few hundred sperm reach the fallopian tube. From this number, only one sperm will successfully fertilize with the secondary oocyte. The process of fertilization takes place in the fallopian tube. Once a sperm has successfully penetrated the membrane of the secondary oocyte, changes occur to the membrane to prevent penetration by other sperm. The formation of the zygote signifies the beginning of pregnancy. The menstrual cycle stops during pregnancy because ovulation does not occur.
Moving on to the early development of an embryo and implantation of the blastocyst. After sperm nucleus fuse with the ovum nucleus to form a zygote, then the first process is while moving down the fallopian tube to the uterus, the zygote divides repeatedly by mitosis. In the first day, the first cleavage formed by mitosis form a 2-cell stage. Then after day 2, it's form 4-cell stage repeatedly until it's forming a 8-cell compacted morula. Like the second stage, the first cell division form 2 cells, and the subsequent cell division form a solid mass of cell called the morula. On the 5th day, the morula develops into a blastocyst. After that, the blastocyst burrows into the endometrium. This process is known as implantation. The blastocyst continues to develop into an embryo. The fertilized egg is known as an embryo during the first 8 weeks. From week 9 until birth, the embryo is known as a fetus. The fetus receives nutrients from the placenta. Here, as you can see, this is the day 5 is the early blastocyst. And after enter the day 6 until 7, it is the late stage blastocyst or hatching. And after reach day 8 until 9, implantation of the blastocyst begin. Alright, next one, role of human chorionic gonadotropin HCG hormone. The placenta produces the human chorionic gonadotropin hormone or HCG during pregnancy. This hormone increases in the early stages of pregnancy and doubles every 2 or 3 days during the first 4 weeks. The main function of HCG is to ensure the corpus luteum continues to function, that is, producing estrogen and progesterone in the early stages of pregnancy. This hormone can be found in the urine of pregnant mothers.
Role of placenta and umbilical cord in fetal development. Number 1. The role of placenta and umbilical cord in fetal development. Number 1. The placenta that consists of embryonic tissue and the mother's endometrial tissue is a temporary organ during fetal development. In the placenta, there are many blood capillaries that increase the surface area to facilitate the diffusion of substance between the mother and the fetus. Next, the process of transporting respiratory gases nutrients, and waste substance in the placenta involves diffusion. The umbilical cord is a tube that contains umbilical vein and umbilical arteries that connect the fetus to the placenta. Umbilical vein transport blood, which is rich in oxygen and nutrients, from the placenta to the fetus, while umbilical arteries transport blood, which is rich in carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste products such as urea, from the fetus to the placenta. Next, let's move to the importance of the placenta. So, what is placenta? The placenta is the site for exchange of substance between the fetus and the mother. Substance such as glucose, amino acids, hormones, antibodies, and oxygen diffuse from the mother's blood through the thin placental membrane into the blood capillaries of the fetus in the placenta. Carbon dioxide and waste material such as urea diffuse from the fetal blood capillaries through the membrane into the mother's blood surrounding the placenta. Placenta also acts as an endocrine organ that takes over the function of the corpus luteum, which declines after the 3rd month of pregnancy. In the 4th month, the placenta replaces the corpus luteum to secrete progesterone and estrogen that are needed to maintain the thickness of the endometrium.
So now, let me explain about fetal and maternal blood circulatory systems. Both maternal and fetal circulation do not mix because they are separated by a thin membrane. This characteristic is important to, firstly, protect the fetus from some harmful chemicals such as toxins and bacteria from diffusing into the fetal circulation. Second, prevent the fine blood vessels of the fetus from bursting as a result of the mother's higher blood pressure. This prevents agglutination or blood clots from happening in the fetus because the fetal blood group may differ from the mother's blood group. So, for your information, agglutination is the clumping of particles. Number 2 is the thin membrane layer of the placenta cannot stop the diffusion of substance such as drug or medication, alcohol, and cigarette smoke taken in by the mother. Viruses such as HIV and rubella can pass through the placenta and diffuse into the fetal bloodstream and disrupt the development of the fetus. So that's all from our group. Thank you.